Hello friends, welcome back to my channel 365 IT Pros. In this video, I'm going to build a custom Copilot bot on NoSQL database and Azure OpenAI service with GPT-4 model. This kind of bot, you can build a custom Copilot with an OpenAI model of your choice. This kind of bot can help user to simply ask questions about product details such as name, category, description, or price, and retrieve an instant accurate responses from NoSQL database. Whether it is helping user to find a perfect product, assisting with product comparison, or answering inquiries about specific item, this kind of copilot can streamline user experience and enhance customer satisfaction. So get ready as I dive into step-by-step process of building a custom copilot bot on Cosmos DB. To create this copilot, we will follow these steps. First, we will set up NoSQL database to store our data efficiently, ensuring scalability and flexibility. Next, we will create an Azure AI search service and import our data into Azure AI search with advanced search and retrieval functionality. Then, we will create and deploy a Azure OpenAI model service with a model of our choice. For this particular demo, we are going to use GPT-4. After that, we will add our own data to enrich the bot knowledge base, ensuring that it's equipped to handle wide range of user queries accurately. And finally, we will build custom copilot on NoSQL database. Through these steps, let's develop a sophisticated bot ready to assist user effectively and enhance their overall experience. Now, before you start creating this copilot, you will need Azure OpenAI subscription, Copilot Studio license, and a sample NoSQL database. For this particular demo, I'm going to use Microsoft Azure Cosmos database as a NoSQL DB. You can also use Azure Cosmos DB for MongoDB or Azure Cosmos DB for PostgreSQL. Now, let me quickly show you the Copilot which I already built using Microsoft Azure Cosmos DB, which uses a sample database for online bike store. I'm into Copilot Studio environment, and here is NoSQL Copilot that I have already built. Let me ask few questions to this Copilot. I'm going to ask what all mountain bikes are available. Now it is querying the underlying Cosmos database to generate AI-based response. So here is a list of mountain bikes along with price. Let me ask one more question. So all these are silver bike. I am interested in a black color bike. Are there any black bikes? Now it will check and let me know if there are any black bikes available. So here you can see it has given me a list of all black bikes which are available. I mean, there could be more bikes, but I'm restricting my response to 5 documents. I will show you when we develop this particular bot. I can probably ask one more question around let me ask like a particular question. If I know the bike model, I can ask what is the price for mountain bike 200 silver 46. And it gives me the accurate information about bike price. You can compare this with the bike information here at the top. 231999. So let me now show you how you can build this bot using Azure OpenAI service. I am into my Azure environment and I have created a resource group called NoSQL RG. Step 1, we are going to create an instance of Azure Cosmos DB. Azure Cosmos DB is a NoSQL database service provided by Azure. You can go to Marketplace, search for Azure Cosmos DB. Create. We have multiple options to create Azure Cosmos DB for NoSQL, for PostgreSQL, MongoDB, and few other options. For this particular demo, I'm using Azure Cosmos database for NoSQL. I'm not going to create a new database, but I will quickly show you the Azure Cosmos DB which I have already created for this particular demo. Here is my Cosmos DB account. I'll go to Data Explorer. You can use Quick Start Wizard to load sample data. I've already loaded sample database into my Cosmos DB account. This is a sample database for a online bike store. It has product information about bikes and bikes accessories. It has an ID which is a unique identity for each record. Category ID which is the ID of an category name. Category name is the name of a category, product category. Product SKU, name of product, description of product, and a price of product, and additional tags for additional information. Once I have created Cosmos database for NoSQL, I'll go back to my Azure resource group and I'll create second step, Azure AI search service. Again, I'll go to Marketplace. I'll search for Azure AI search service. This was previously known as Azure Cognitive Service. I mean Azure Cognitive Search Service. Here you will select Create. When you create a new instance of Azure Search Service, you will have to select a pricing tier. For Azure OpenAI on your own data, minimum recommendation is basic tier. Free tier is not available to load your own data with Azure AI service. I have already created Azure AI search service for this particular demo. Let me quickly show you search service which I have already created. I have created Azure AI search service and imported the data which I have created in step 1. Go to import data, existing source, Azure Cosmos DB. You can give a sample data source name. For connection string, I will select the account which was created in step 1. Then it will ask me to select a database which I have already loaded into my Cosmos DB account. Next step, it will ask me to add any cognitive skills to search index. Collection, sample container. This is an optional step to add a cognitive skills to a search index. In case if I'm looking to extract any entities like name, location, language, or any personal identifiable information PII data. I'll skip this step. I'll go to the next step to create and target index. This particular step, we are going to mark fields which are retrievable, filterable, searchable, and sortable. I'm going to retrieve ID, category ID, all field. I can filter on category ID, category name, price. I can sort on price, leave other options by default. I want category name, description, maybe SKU, and price searchable. In order to make price searchable, I'll change this data type to medium.string. And I'm ready to create my index. I will call my index Cosmos DB demo index. Next step, I'm going to create an indexer to refresh data in search. I can schedule it to run once, hourly, daily, and custom. I'll mark this as daily. In case I am planning to track deletion, then I can turn the track deletion on, and I can identify a column which I'll be used to mark the item as a soft delete. For this particular demo, I'm going to skip track deletion. Let me submit to create an index on search. Now it's creating the index on my search data created in step 1. When I go to indexes, I'll see my index Cosmos demo index. I can test this index by querying database using some search keywords. Use mountain bikes. Now it has written me and results which are documents from Cosmos database or items from a Cosmos database. I can search for socks. It has written me 3 products which are of category socks with different product SKU. So my search index is ready and available to use. I'll go back to my resource group. Now third step, I'm going to create an instance of Azure OpenAI service. I'm not going to create a new instance, but I'm going to show you how you can create an Azure OpenAI instance. I have already created a demo instance for Azure OpenAI service. I've created this instance in Canada East region because I'm going to use GPT-4 model for this particular demo. You can select the location based on the availability of model. Once you've created Copilot Azure OpenAI service instance, you can go to Azure OpenAI Studio to deploy a model. Azure OpenAI Studio provides an option to deploy and test your model using Chat Playground. In order to create a new model deployment, go to Deployments, Create New Deployment, select the model of your choice, GPT-4. We can leave rest options as default settings. We can click on Create. Probably we'll give some sample deployment name. We can click Create. For this particular demo, we will use the deployment which I have already created for GPT-4. Here is my deployment details. I can open this in Chat Playground to test my deployment. Currently, I'm not using any data, or I would say my own data, on this particular deployment. I will test this model with its pre-trained data. I'm asking a generic question where model can use its pre-trained information to respond to my query. This shows that our model is deployed successfully. Now I'm going to add my custom data to this model to ground the response using RAG architecture. I'm going to select Add Data Source. For this particular demo, we are using Azure AI Search. It has automatically identified the available search index. I'll use search index that we created in step 2. We'll use custom field mapping. Next, now we are going to map fields from Cosmos DB with these 4 fields shown here, which are used to ground the model on my data to generate AI-based response. For content, I'm going to select category name, description, and price. The information present in these 3 columns will be used to ground the model to generate AI-based response. File name is a unique identifier. I'm going to select ID column. For title, I'm going to select name column. Remember, we can't use name column at 2 places. For URL, I'm going to leave empty. Go to next. Search type, I'm going to use keyword-based search. Other options are vector search or semantic search. For this particular demo, we are going to use keyword search. Now, I have configured my own data on GPT-4 model to generate AI-based response for user queries. Before we test model, I'll quickly show you few more parameters to adjust the model response. Number 1 is strictness. Strictness decides the relevancy of user response from the model to user queries. How relevant are search results from Cosmos DB to generate AI-based response. If we increase the value for relevancy and filtering out more documents that are less relevant for response. By default, the value is 3. Next one is retrieve documents. It basically selects top 5 documents to generate an AI-based response, or I would say top 5 search results. By default, the value is 5. We can increase the value to get more results from Cosmos DB. It specifies the number of top scoring documents from the index to generate response. Now, our bike store data is already added to this particular model. Let's check model response. We'll start with some greeting message. Now I'm going to ask, what all mountain bikes are available? It's going to respond me with top 5 highest scoring search results and possible list of top 5 mountain bikes. Here are the results for mountain bike. I'm going to ask, what is the price for this particular mountain bike? And let's see if model can answer that question. It queries the database in background to generate a search result and then generates the AI-based response using grounding of data. Now, let me show you, if I increase this retrieve documents to 10, how model response is going to change. Now, I'm again going to ask same question. Now this time it's going to return me list of more than 5 mountain bikes. Here is list of 10 mountain bikes. Now my model is ready to deploy in Copilot Studio. Now there are 2 ways to deploy this model in Copilot Studio. Either I can create an Copilot Studio bot and connect my bot to Azure OpenAI service, or I can use an option available in Azure AI Studio to deploy this bot into new Copilot Studio environment. I'll click on Deploy to, continue in Copilot Studio. It will open my Copilot Studio environment and start creating a Copilot Studio bot. So here it's going to ask me name for my Copilot, product information Copilot. I'm going to skip some of the lessons topic. I'm going to create a Copilot. Now it is creating a custom Copilot and establishing a connection with Azure OpenAI service. I can show you generative AI node. So you can see conversational boosting is enabled. If I go to topics, it has created a topic called conversational boosting. There is a generative AI node. If you look at the data source, it has already established a connection with Azure OpenAI service. Connection properties, all values are auto-populated. For API version, I have figured out that it is not using the latest available API version. When I try to use latest available API version, which is 2024 0201, it was failing. So I'm using the 2023-06-01 preview version, which is still available to use in Copilot Studio. If you know what is the reason, please comment. Other than that, it has also populated other model data like what index I'm using, what all fields will be used to generate the AI response, content fields. If I'm using vector search, then additional information is there. Query type is simple because I'm using keyword search. These are the two attributes which I mentioned earlier to control the quality of the response and amount of documents or number of documents to be used to generate response. So now my bot is ready to use. Let's ask some questions. I'm going to ask same all questions that we asked before. So I'm going to ask what all mountain bikes are available. So it is giving me list of top 5 bikes based on the top 5 results. I'm going to ask, are there any black bikes? Because all these are silver. I'm interested in black bike. So now it's going to generate list of all, or I would say top 5 black bikes. Now let's ask a question which compares the price. So I'm going to ask which of these are expensive. So it is going to do the price comparison for me and going to tell me which one is the expensive one, or maybe a list of few expensive bikes. Yes, it has generated a list of some expensive bike. At the same time, it is also giving me additional information like which one is the least expensive. Now I'm interested in some other product. So I'm going to ask, okay, do you have bike stand as well? So I'm going to ask, is bike stand available? Okay, yes, there is a bike stand available. I'm going to ask what is price for bike stand then. Tell me the price. Okay, it has written me a bike stand, and all these citations are nothing but the document in Cosmos DB. So if I click on this particular citation, you will see a document that is returned as a result from Cosmos database. So this is accessories, bike stand and product. So the type is accessories, category, then bike stand is the title, this is the description, and then this is the price. All right, so that's all for this video. If you like content of this video, please hit the bell icon and subscribe to my channel and share this video with your colleagues and friends. Thank you so much.